Yeah, you hear about them parties? Nah, that wasn't for me. No, sir.
Inside sources say Jay-Z beefs up security and threat that retaliation from Beanie Sigel for dropping him from the label.
This was in the newspaper.
It's in the paper. It's public record.
More like a little, for lack of better terms, a little ritual. I know he always, when he was working on his albums, he would wear Biggie chain. His Cuban with the Jesus piece. Jail rock that.
It seems like the rap community is finally starting to speak out against Diddy and Jay-Z after keeping quiet for years and overlooking all the questionable activities these two have been involved in. The latest artist to break his silence is Beanie Sigel, who decided to share his experiences and expose both Diddy and Jay-Z. Beanie recently revealed some disturbing things he heard about Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. He wisely chose not to get involved in any of that because he knew from the start that Diddy was not to be trusted. When it comes to Jay-Z, Beanie really believed he was a true friend. But like we've heard from many other rappers, both alive and dead, Jay-Z ended up betraying Beanie and turning his back on him when he needed his support the most. So what exactly happened between Beanie and Jay-Z? And what did Beanie reveal about those infamous Diddy parties? Let's get into it.
You know, y'all got that game pause. They stopped saying pause and now it's no Diddy. That's a bad joint.
As the day of Diddy's arrest reportedly approaches, more details about his alleged wrongdoings are surfacing, and industry figures are finally starting to speak out against him. While 50 Cent was probably the only one bold enough to publicly call out Diddy long before all these lawsuits started piling up, the situation is now changing. Back then, it seemed like 50 Cent was just being petty and trolling Diddy for laughs. But now, as Diddy's legal troubles continue to mount, more and more of his former associates are finding the courage to share their own stories. The latest to do so is former Roc-A-Fella artist Beanie Sigel. Beanie didn't just go off on Diddy. He also spoke about Diddy's longtime friend Jay-Z, who, according to Beanie, betrayed him in the worst way. Beanie and Diddy used to be cool back in the day, and Beanie made a guest appearance on Diddy's second studio album, Forever, jumping on the track Journey Through the Life with Diddy, Lil Kim, Joe Cooker, and Nas. Diddy even wanted to sign Beanie to Bad Boy, but Beanie had already made a deal with Roc-A-Fella, and in hindsight, he definitely made the right choice. They don't call it the Bad Boy curse for nothing. Pretty much every artist who signed a deal with Diddy ended up getting screwed over. In a recent interview on The Art of Dialogue, Beanie said he doesn't regret signing with Roc-A-Fella because, knowing what we know now about Diddy and how he treated his artists, who knows if Beanie would still be around to tell the tale if he had signed with Diddy.
You wrote for Diddy at one point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote a couple records. Yeah, it was a couple records. I don't really remember the exact records though.
How did they come about though? Him reaching out to you for you to write for him?
I did that early in my career when I first signed with Roc-A-Fella. Yeah, it was a little bidding war. Yeah, I got the call from Puff, and me, him, and Nas was going to do a record together. Then I wound up staying at the studio doing a couple records.
That's news to me, man. So he was trying to sign you to Bad Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's news right there, yo.
I could have been that Bad Boy. I could have been with Rough Riders. Couple spots.
Why didn't you sign a Bad Boy?
I was already committed to Roc-A-Fella. I ain't signed no contract yet, but it was already done.
When you look back in hindsight, do you regret it?
Being signed to Roc-A-Fella?
Yeah.
Hell no. No, I don't regret that at all.
So when you look back at your career, knowing that you could have been at Bad Boy or Rough Riders, you still, if you go back, you would still sign.
You listen to that question you just asked me. Bad Boy or Rough Riders? Maybe Rough Riders. But right now, in hindsight, looking at things, nah.
right.
Nah.
Right.
Nah.
I feel
As for the legal mess Diddy is dealing with right now, Beanie mentioned that he heard some things about those notorious Diddy parties over the years. However, he made it clear that he never attended any of them, not even one. Beanie emphasized that he stayed away from those parties because he knew from the beginning that Diddy was not someone to be trusted. This decision seems wise in light of the current allegations and legal troubles surrounding Diddy.
how you feel about the situation Diddy going through right now?
Man. It's wild. You know, y'all got that game pause. They stopped saying pause and now it's no Diddy. That's a bad joint. That's bad. Man, no Diddy.
Have you ever been to his parties?
Not one. Not one. Not one. Ever.
Yo, have you heard about him though?
Yeah. Yeah, you hear about them parties? Nah, that wasn't for me. No, sir.
What you hear about him?
Same thing everybody else heard about him.
Now, as for Jay-Z, Beanie had a lot of trust in him back in the day, not knowing that Jay would screw him over just like Diddy screwed his bad boy artists. When Beanie appeared on Drink Champs in 2021, he talked about his early days with Rockefeller. He said that when he first signed with Rockefeller in 1998 and became their flagship artist, he truly believed Jay was solid and would have his back no matter what. Unfortunately, this turned out not to be the case.
Rockefeller Records was the only thing that I've ever been a part of that I thought was honest.
It's dope. It's ill.
Like, it's really me for what it was. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm from South Philly, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Pray next to you, turn around, blow your head off. Like,
just smile, shake your hand, pray next to you, and blow your head
yeah,
off.
all that vicious. That's where I come from.
Yeah.
Wash your body. You know what I mean?
Just pray.
Son of fornicate with your daughter. Yeah, that's where I come from. That's the world that I lived in. So me being with Rockefeller, the La Familia, I held on to that. It's like I got something, and you know what I mean? And it's like, got me. And they don't want me, they just want me to do this. This music. They got me. And that's all I asked, you got me. That's where I came from. I never looked at me having a career. I never looked at the business. It was La Familia, La Familia, La Familia.
But like many other artists who thought Jay-Z was a real friend, Beanie quickly learned that Jay cares about one thing and one thing alone: profit. All that talk about La Familia flew right out the window the moment Jay-Z felt like Beanie could jeopardize his cash flow. To give you some background, back in 2009, Beanie recorded the song I Go Off with 50 Cent, dissing Jay-Z. However, Beanie and Jay had already fallen out by that point. Their issues started around the time Rockefeller split and Beanie was dealing with legal troubles. During the same episode of Drink Champs, Beanie shared how crushed he felt when Jay-Z vouched for him in court back in 2003, but then said he wouldn't be responsible for keeping tabs on Beanie's whereabouts.
At that time, when, you know, I'm going to court, and we about to be on tour. We on tour. So
Another tour.
yeah, we on a whole nother tour. So, you know, I'm going for my bail hearing in the feds. And the judge asked Jay, you know, everybody's saying all these good things and all that. You know what I mean? The character witnesses, Dame, and, you know, everybody's saying, and even Jay said a whole lot of good things about me, and the judge was going to let me go. Monitored. And she said, you know, would you be willing, and that's the part that people don't, would you be willing to be responsible for his whereabouts, not be responsible for my actions, just his whereabouts? Would you be willing to do that? Provide us with all the information you know, saying that he's going to be here, there. And after all that good, and he said no. But it was like the way he said it. And he put his head down, he was like, no, I've never been crushed like that ever in my life. Cause I'm like, damn, this is my man, like, how? And I looked at it like, all right, no. Damn, what if I had to get, I'm in jail, I'm still tall, but what if I really needed to go? This was going in my mind. Like,
get out of jail, you say?
Like, yeah, like, bro, I had attempted in the state and the federal and all this shit. Yo, 40 years is over. This is what I'm facing, 40 years.
Right.
What if in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, what if I really need the road? Be on the run and go. Like, I'm from like, this is my man and I love him. If he skipped that, I'm getting my man, I'm getting him out by any means necessary. So for me to look him in his eyes and I'm shackled around the wrist, ankles and everything, and the man was like, oh. Like that, I don't know, that was that, yeah. It took everything in me not to like let them go. Like that took away a lot of thought that we had.
All right.
Like that's big bro.
Now, some fans defended Jay-Z, saying he did the right thing by refusing to take responsibility for Beanie. They argued that Beanie was responsible for his own actions, and it wasn't fair to expect Jay to save him from his mistakes. However, many others pointed out that the perception of Jay-Z as a snake isn't just based on Beanie's story. Almost everyone who helped Jay-Z climb to the top, from Jazz-O to Dame Dash, felt betrayed by him. This pattern makes some sense considering that few people become billionaires by being nice, and it seems almost a requirement to lack morals or principles to make that much money. How do you feel about Beanie Sigel calling out Jay-Z? Do you think Jay-Z will be the next to face consequences after Diddy, or is he too protected to fall? Drop your comments below and then check out this next video.